Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
I'm joined by Lukas from Maximo Park, who are currently on their UK tour. So, Lukas, how's that going for you so far?
We started a couple of days ago, well, about a week ago now, and we've been playing Europe for over 3 weeks. So we kind of hit the ground running. So everything's going pretty smoothly.
And your new album, it's called Too Much Information. What was the inspiration behind the whole thing?
On the last album, we'd sort of embraced this idea of, people don't really listen to albums anymore in one go from beginning to end. So it's, people kind of are very used to the iPod shuffle sort of mentality where one song comes on that's completely different from the one before it. People's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. So we still believe that the album is kind of a valid format, and we wanted to sort of maybe embrace the idea of the shuffle and kind of make the record quite varied, and it's an incredibly varied record. And also I think we're aware that Maximo Park, one of the things we do is there's a real emotional core, a rawness to our songs. Paul wears his emotions on his sleeve. You're very aware of the kind of the sort of crises or the problems that he's expressing through his lyrics. And we know that's not a very cool thing to do. Some find that a little bit off-putting because it's too much information, basically, for people to take. So it was slightly tongue-in-cheek kind of reference to basically what we do. We're 5 albums in. We're not going to change, what makes us what we are, and people either like it or they don't. And so.
And what's been the response from your fans towards these tracks from the new album when you've been playing them during this tour?
Really good, really good. We're very pleasantly surprised because we were really excited when we were writing and recording those tracks, but we knew in the back of our minds that we're going to have to start playing these live at some point, and we were until you actually play them to your audience who are perhaps used to how more kind of dense musical outputs, stuff like Our Velocity, I guess, and Apply Some Pressure, and songs that are quite frenetic, and all the instruments are kind of playing at the same time. Whereas on this record, we've really kind of discovered lots of space in our music and a sort of more meditative style in the music itself, and Paul's singing kind of softer, lower in some parts, and doing a lot of falsetto in other parts. And so we weren't quite sure if people were going to be able to sort of take the changes in pace. If you're playing something like the National Health from the last album, going into I don't know, Leave This Island or something, but it just makes the set even more dynamic than before. And I think people really enjoy that kind of. There's a real sense of a journey from the start of our set. We start off quite up tempo, and then we take it down a little bit, bring it back up, take it down a little bit. So it's kind of there's just more of an experience of emotions through the whole set.
And obviously you've got your hometown gig in Newcastle coming up to end the tour on. How excited is everyone for that?
It's very well placed because we've gone all the way around the UK and we're finishing in Newcastle. It's just a happy coincidence it's worked like that. We've got 2 sold-out shows in a row, and we're really excited. So whatever drops of energy we've got left for that, then we're just going to give it our all. It's going to be great.
And looking forward to the summer. You were confirmed for Tea in the Park just last month. How much fun is it playing in front of festival crowds? Because on your tour, you're playing in front of people who you know are your own fans, but at a festival, you get a bit of a mix, don't you? So how do you find that?
Festivals are great because you can play to people who aren't quite familiar with you, and you can kind of convert them, basically. They might have heard 1 or 2 songs on the radio, or heard a couple of things about you and checking you out, and see these people jumping around on stage and kind of give it, we put on quite a show. Paul's a really, really good front man, and it relates to his audience really well. And I think people who don't really know or might not even like our music still appreciate his communication with a large crowd. So it's exciting for us to kind of feel like we're conveying people to the Maximo Park way, and sets can, you know, are shorter at a festival, so we just sort of play the hits all in a row and then leave people.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, and good luck with your tour. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Yeah, really nice to speak to you. Thank you.